Hello everybody, welcome back to another Warframe. I guess you could call this somewhat of a build video. I'm going over a setup between a Warframe and a weapon that I have been loving as of recently. And I can't actually just drop it. So yeah, so you can call this a build video, but it's more of like just a general setup of two Warframe and a weapon. So there you go. Let's just get into it. The Warframe I'm talking about is Chroma. The, our favorite dragon that you rarely see nowadays, but he's still arguably one of my top frames, albeit it might not be it. Show that because he is where on the list? Oh, he's right here. He's higher. Awesome. Point being, he would be up here somewhere if I didn't have all these other frames to play with. Now, I'm on a blank build because if you guys don't know how Chroma works, his first ability can swap between elements. Heat, all base elements, so fire, heat, cold, toxin. But whatever element you are on, it affects his second ability, Ward of Elemental Ward. But with the build I am using, my main build with Chroma is Gloom, which if I can fit it, I'm going to replace it with. Which is Blind Rage, because you want a decent... With the build I'm recommending, you want duration and strength. You want strength to get this up pretty high, and same thing with this. So these buffs are pretty high as it is. And actually, high as it is, not that. And so we are using Gloom in the first ability, so we can't swap between elements. So you have to go ahead and go to his appearance and change his immersive color. I went with Toxin, because we are using the Chalker, the Akuba Chalker, or as you can see, I went to Fortuna and renamed it, so ignore this name. But this, the Akuba Chalker, I don't see anybody using this weapon, and I don't know why. In my opinion, this is one of the top Kuva weapons to go after. Actually, correction. After the changes a long time ago with the whole AoE stuff, I think that this is arguably the best Kuva weapon to go after. If you're into the slow firing, like precision based gameplay, go after this. This should be your first Kuva weapon you should ever go after. On the build we are using on the Chalker, we have Serration, Galvanized Chamber. I don't have any maxed out mods. I am currently working on that, but I need money. I need money and endo, so all these mods will soon be maxed out for this build. Now, since it being a Kuva weapon, you could get a Warframe Progenitor and get a base element on it. I'm waiting to see about the new status effect changes, because Magnetic is getting a change. But for everybody else, I recommend actually going for Toxin on your base element or your Progenitor. So use look, I have it written down before of what the Progenitor is for Toxin stuff. Where the fuck did I put it? Here it is. So yeah, if you want, I recommend going for Toxin because then you can make Corrosive and Viral. So use Atlas, Avara, Korra, Necros, Nidus, Oberon, or Saren to get a Toxin Progenitor. And try to go for a 60 roll. If you can. Where's that page? Back in the books. There it is. So yeah. Ignore the ribbon that I have. If you do not have a ribbon, and the same thing, go for the, actually don't go for that. Go for, where is it? Either go for Critical Delay, but I actually do not recommend Critical Delay. I actually recommend Point Strike, because that gets you up to 125% critical chance. And with this one, you're only missing out on literally 25% critical chance. And that's more than enough, because we're also using Galvanized Scope. We're using Galvanized Scope, so give me a second. I love stick drifting your controllers, right? Galvanized Scope, you get more crit chance. When this thing is maxed out, it should be like 120% extra critical chance. along top of this. So if you with both of these, you should be getting really high orange to red crits. Now the reason why I say go for a toxin progenitor is because then you can use this as a. You only need one element. You can either use the primed cryo rounds or the normal cryo rounds. Or if you don't want to do it that way, you can use the you can use rhyme rounds for the more status chance. But because I got this, I can either use this. Well, I personally can use cold, which I'm probably going to swap to now. I'll show you why. But actually, let me do this. I'll do it this way. I did use cold before, but hey, you mind? Okay, so this is a high critical build. We also want both of these mods, Vital Sense and Bladed Rounds. Bladed Rounds is also an option slot. The only other thing, I mean, there's something else I can really like recommend for this spot. I mean, for the exo swap, the only thing I even see is like either Vigilante Armaments or what is it? I mean, you can go for one of the there's three exo slot slots you could use. You could use Vigilante Supplies specifically for the bottom buff, the enhanced critical chance, but I either recommend Terminal Velocity, because this thing does have a bit of velocity to it, the actual bullet from this thing, so you want to lead it a little bit. Or you can use Stabilizer. I do actually recommend Stabilizer, because this thing kicks like a bloody mule. If you can't handle it, use this. But for my build, I'm just going to put back on my ribbon. Here's why I have my ribbon, and I love it because it has the minus zoom, because this thing is a bit zoomy, so that's why I have this ribbon. You want internal bleeding. Now, people might say, oh, why didn't you go for 100 munitions with all the critical chance? Because this thing has guaranteed impact procs. And because this is at a 1.7, so it has so the fire rate is below 2.5, this is a 70% chance to proc a slash. So basically, almost every shot is going to be a slash if I get a direct hit. I went for primary dead hit because of the minus recoil, but also because of the headshot multiplier, because the chakra itself has a plus 50% headshot damage on direct hits. And then primary dead hit is plus 30% to headshot multiplier, so a bunch more headshot damage. Hope I showed that clip before about me absolutely fucking a acolyte in the face by shooting him in the face. But yeah, so internal bleeding is the best. You want Galvanized Chamber for the multi-shot, Galvanized Scope for the high crit. Like I said, I recommend going for either a Toxin Progenitor or a Cold Progenitor. Because cold is really... I like cold because then you can use primary Frostbite for the extra critical damage and multi-shot. Actually, I might try this out. Because with the Chroma build I'm recommending you, with the Toxin effect gives you more status chance. So this might not be a bad idea. For your Warframe Arcanes, I actually don't recommend Molt Augmented, because you have to... If how Molt Augmented works, if you use Chroma, you actually have to let his Vex armor die out, which is not exactly what you want to do. You don't want this to run out, because once this runs out, you're fucking dead. Plain and simple, you are dead. So you don't want that to run out. So this is not a... What did I press? You don't want Molt Augmented. Instead, if you want more health, you can go for Victory. Arcane Victory right here. So that way, on a headshot kill, which is what you're planning to do with this weapon anyway, you get more health. You get health regen just for more health. But since we have Gloom, it's fine. But this is just like an extra layer. You can use Arcane Guardian for more armor when you get damaged. I actually do kind of recommend it, but you don't have to. For weapon stuff, you can use a decent amount here. I mean, do not use where is it? Whatever the Arcane Acceleration, because it'll bug it with the other thing. Arcane, it'll bug it with the internal bleeding, so you won't be able to get all your slashes. I actually recommend our Arcane Avenger for your weapon one to get guaranteed red crits. I don't have a maxed out one, as you can see, so I'm not using it, but I do recommend this. Now, for weapons, I mean, you can go for more damage with either Arcane Rage or even Arcane Rise. Both of these would be pretty good for just weapon damage. So yeah, those are like the two best ones to kind of go for your arcanes. And again, with this build, you want high strength and duration, and you want Hunter Adrenaline on here. I would use, where is it? For this, or so I would use Rifle Amp, but where is it? Rifle Amp is here. I would use it, but I can't fit it until I put more formats into this bad boy. So I would happily use this if I had more room for his stuff. I don't. I also I don't recommend Augur Message, albeit it's not the worst choice. I actually recommend what I should be having on is Adaptation, just for more survivability. So yeah, this is basically the setup that I have been using. Like the second setup I use with Chroma. The other setup I use I posted a long time ago is with the Strong Prime. But this build is for this, which is a Chalker. I know that Chroma is a Warframe that has a shit ton of like synergies with like other weapons. I mean, you can use a bunch of weapons with him, and he'll be stupid no matter what you do with him. But there's only certain like Chroma's a frame where it's like sure, there's like a million weapon setups like what Home, Czar, Trumna. You can use a million different weapons with him, and they'll be good no matter what. But you know what I mean. Only a few weapon setups with Chroma will actually strike your fancy. You don't really need the standing. I just go with Inara just to have the Acolyte's armor just fucking be gone. For your cat, I mean, I use this. For your companion, I just use a Semitic bag because like I know no other pet to use. If you want to do the primary frostbite approach, I recommend getting a Panzer with a Phyla or a Dorigo with a Hellstrom, which I have neither of those. I need to get both of those. You get a Dorigo with Hellstrom or a Panzer with a Phyla for viral. Make your slash procs do more. And again, high crit damage. There is another mod you could do for crit damage. It's called Hammer Shot. It gives you status chance and crit damage, but not as much as this. So this would give you like 240% right here. Again, for the ribbon right here, if you do not have a ribbon, just go for Point Strike because you don't want the other one, the critical delay, because that minus 20% fire rate, although it may not sound like much, I have used it on this weapon. It makes this weapon so slow. And that's why I use Chroma's Toxin Elemental Ward, because it actually fixes most of this weapon's like fusibility issues. That's why nobody uses it, because it's not user friendly. You want and need headshots with this one. You want and need headshots, but its reload speed is bad, and you have to kind of lead your targets a little bit. The usability of this weapon is pretty bad. Chroma's Toxin, right here, helps out with the reload speed a lot. So that's why I recommend using Chroma's Toxin one with this. I mean, the only other one you can even use is probably his Cold or something, but I highly recommend the Toxin to help with the usability issues of this, because his Vex armor right here is just fine. If you have it, I don't because I sold it, but if you want to, you can go for more strength, which is fine. I mean, I'll take this off to show you. Like, you can go for more strength and get this thing to like 1,000 or something, but I honestly do not recommend that because, I mean, yeah, you can, but if you were to do it this way, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but then you wouldn't, yeah, yeah. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? You need Hunter Adrenaline to keep your energy up. I don't recommend Rage. I tried Rage, which is just 5% less. It is actually a bigger difference. Yeah, yeah, it just don't do this. Just use Hunter Adrenaline because the 45% is actually a lot more noticeable than what you think. And plus the other effect is not bad. Pain you more damage and fit up a slash, but don't matter. It's just because the 40% is a lot better. For Archon shards, I need to get more Archon shards because I basically have none. But for 4 Archon shards, I mean, I recommend 2. I have this. I have this, even though you can use the Exilus slot for him. But I recommend not doing that. Doing 1 yellow shard with ammo maximum on spawn is fine. The one I recommend is blue shard with energy, because honestly, his energy economy is not exactly what I would call great. The only other thing you could do is a bunch of red shards with either ability strength or ability duration. You don't want the primary status stance, because that's not what we're going for. I mean, yeah, nothing else here is for... So yeah, that is another setup I have been using with Chroma, which is the Chalker with the build I showed you, and the Toxin mode for him, which is immersive color. Yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Leave a like, really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one. For the gameplay, my opinions, tips, hopefully helpful, or general gameplay. See you on the next video. Peace out. Love you all. Stay healthy. Yeah, I love you all. Goodbye.